Good evening. The tuition cap may be lifted for students at post-secondary schools.
This on top of hints of a 9% reduction for education funding from the provincial government. Elizabeth Buchan joins us live from our news center tonight with more on the potential impact.
Thanks, Bernard and Lisa. With declining oil prices, the government has indicated that sweeping cuts are inevitable. Education being one of the areas students are fearful that these could affect them directly while paying for college or university. Brendan Morin is an 8th student who went to live on his own while studying and working full-time. Right now, he says he's financially stretched to the limit.
For my first 2 diplomas, I lived on my own, and I maintained what bordered on being a full-time job while I was doing that.
Alberta currently has the lowest rate of high school students transferring to post-secondary, with 17% moving to 24%. Naturally, the Alberta opposition is concerned that could drop further with the lifting of a tuition cap.
There's a real pressure on the institutions to try and get as big a tuition increase as they possibly can to replace the money that the government has not given them or is likely to cut back from the next budget as well.
With impending cuts looming, NAIT student officials believe that students need an initiative rather than an obstacle to pursue their studies.
Mostly students or those who are getting laid off from jobs and everything, they're going to be coming back to school to get the training again and get back on track so they're educated and then they can go back to the work field.
NAIT Student Association president mentions that by removing this cap will limit the accessibility for people to come to NAIT. Students around the campus voice their opinion on how these could affect them.
Could be potentially threatening to the ability for students to go to school.
Probably take the bus instead of drive to school and stuff like that, right?
For Brandon, even with a student loan, he's moved back home to budget for now and perhaps later.
Of course I'm going to be affected because I have to still pay my future tuition costs, right?
The elimination of a tuition cap could also bring in more applications for student loans.
What's the average cost of tuition across Alberta?
From 2014 until this year, it's sitting about $5,700.
How does NAIT compare to other post-secondary institutions?
NAIT's average is about $3,600 to $3,800, and we are one of the lowest in Alberta.
Thanks, Elizabeth. That's Elizabeth Buchan reporting live from our news center tonight. The provincial government will release its budget on March 26th.